It's day 179, and it's time to meet another one of my friends. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome artist, musician, friend, and the funniest Bermudan I've ever met. Direct from Bermuda, it is... It's Mike Hind!
Yay!
Yay! Hello!
Hello, darling.
You're looking very understated, Michael Hind.
Well, you know, a velvet jacket is what one must wear when one is meeting with an international TV star.
Do let me know when they turn up, won't you?
I've been waiting.
Now, people may not know that we know each other from the ukulele world.
Yes.
The world of the uke. And we met, even though I'm in London and you're in Bermuda, we met in Scotland.
Yes, which is seems about right for our relationship.
Yeah. So this is really all the fault of Stuart and Linda Butterworth, isn't it?
Yes.
And the Ukulele Festival of Scotland.
Yes. Oh, the best best festival in the world.
The best Scotland in the world.
And the best Scotland.
That's true.
Let's be honest.
If you're going to go to a Scotland, I would recommend that one. Yeah.
I would. Although the one in Florida is quite nice as well. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Shall we move on?
Yes, shall we?
I have 3 questions for you, Mr. Mike.
Yes.
And the first one is, what is your recollection of our first meeting?
I remember. I actually remember it quite well. I had been invited to headline the Ukulele Festival of Scotland by Stuart and Linda because I had done a gig for them a couple of months earlier, and they said, "Would you play our, you know how soft-spoken Stuart is? Would you play our festival?" And so I did, and I was like, "Oh, great, that's awesome!" So I did the gig, and at the end of the gig, I had the other people in the show up on stage with me, and I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's been wonderful. Please rise for the Scottish national anthem." And so they all stood up. And I turned, and everyone else on stage. And I went, "Oh, okay. This could go one of 2 ways." And I started playing 500 Miles. And not only did when I wake up, not only did no one get offended, but half of them put their hands over their hearts and started marching. And so Stuart came up to me afterwards and was like, I've insulted you. I should never have asked you to play our festival." And I was like, "Oh God, what have I done? Oh my God, what did I do?" And he goes, "No, would you headline it?" And I was like, of course, I burst into tears because Stuart and Linda both have a very bad habit of making everyone they deal with burst into tears because of joy that they bring everyone's life. So when we were talking about organizing it and stuff, they had mentioned that they had got this amazing compère, and they gave me his name, and I looked him up online, and I was like, okay, this is someone I need to know. This is absolutely someone I need to meet. And then when we got there, you had, I believe, just arrived, or we had arrived just as you. And I looked over and I went, "Oh my God, that's Paul L. Martin." And you said something, and I went, "Yes, I was right. This is someone I absolutely need to know." And I started flirting with you horribly.
Yes, you did. Yes, I liked it very much.
I instantly started flirting with you right in front of my wife.
She's a good woman, your wife.
She's a very good woman, and her response to me flirting with you was basically, "Yeah, that's okay. That's yeah. If he has to, that's fine. That's who I want him flirting with."
Question the second, Mike Hind.
Yes.
How are you keeping creative at the moment?
I am actually, I am just a very short background. I am a ukulele player. I play at a restaurant here in Bermuda called the Dock at the Waterlot Inn, which is one of the most beautiful, you've seen the pictures, it's one of the most beautiful spots in the world. My backdrop is the sunset every night, and
Oh.
it's glorious. You have to come down at some point.
There's only 4 hours difference, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, and it's only like a 6-hour flight. So when we get out of this, we'll have to get you down there. And of course, that's off right now. But they have been really amazing. They had me play 2 nights on the rooftop of the hotel for the staff and for some of the folks there. And we launched it. We live streamed it and stuff. And I've been doing a live stream every Friday. Just in my house, I've been playing music for people, and it's been quite well received. Not a massive worldwide crowd, but very good crowd that I've loved doing. And I'm working on doing one for Wednesdays earlier for my UK people.
So where do you do your lives, Mike?
Right
on Facebook?
here. Right here. Yeah, I do it on Facebook.
Okay.
I was trying to do it on YouTube, but it's kind of a pain in the butt doing it on YouTube. I do want to start doing some stage it shows as well. But the other thing that we're doing because I also have a band and we do a jam night on Tuesday or Wednesday nights here in Bermuda. And the band and I are working on a project together. Basically, we're going to put out singles that will become an album.
Cool.
And we're all, because it's looking like that's going to be the way that people do things. It's not, I'm going to work for a year on doing an album. It's let's put out stuff on a regular basis, like you're doing.
I'm on my blog at the moment. I'm doing a chapter like Charles Dickens used to do. I'm posting a chapter every Wednesday on my blog, on my website of a novel that I'm writing.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
And I don't think I'd have ever got around to doing it otherwise, to be honest with you. I'd have just always been like, it's going to be so much planning, and I've got to know this, and I've got to know this, and all of the characters have got to be, rounded and ready before I start. I'm not doing any of the way I planned it in my head. I'm just doing it.
Exactly, and that's a wonderful way to do it, because part of writing is actually sitting down and doing it.
I saw this lovely meme recently. I love this. I tell my students this a lot. 90% of creativity is just getting on with it.
Yeah, exactly. There's you met Gerald Ross.
Yes, I did. He's a wonderful chap.
Someone gave me a quote of his. It said, "No one ever got better talking about rehearsing."
Yeah.
And it really is a matter of just sitting your ass down and writing and doing it. And doing this on a weekly basis is very much a very good start in getting stuff done. And I think you with your novel and me with the music and stuff, it really is how we're going to have to start getting stuff done.
I reckon. Are you ready for your third and final question?
I am ready for question the third.
What are you looking forward to doing that you cannot do at the moment?
Honestly, this is going to sound like I'm kissing butt to my bosses, but I cannot wait to get back to work. Mm. I love my job.
Well, you love people, as far as I can gather.
I do. I really... What's the line from Clerks? I love people, but I hate crowds.
I love, my favorite quote is, I hope I'm going to get this right. It's Linus from the Peanuts comic strips. I can't stand people, but I love mankind, or something like that. I think it's the other way around, but it's very Linus. It's very Peanuts.
I'm very much on the same thing. I love people, but I can't stand people. My job, my very I tell this story all the time. My very first gig, I had rehearsed, and it was all laid out. The set was there, and it had a flow and everything. And I had this solid hour-and-a-half show, and I got there, and they said, so it's a 3-hour gig. And I went, okay. I said, well, I'll switch the audience up. I'll do the hour and a half, and then the audience will have changed over, and I'll just do that again. Well, they all stayed. So the second half was what I like to call a descent into madness. It was just me doing whatever popped into my head. And at one point, three Irish girls decided that they wanted to hear Maggie May, and asked me 17 times. Then started asking other people to request it. So I went, you know what? I've had enough. So I caught up the chords to Maggie May. I'd never played the song before in my life. And I basically went, okay, I think I can fake my way through it. I have no idea what key it is or if I can sing, because Maggie May's quite high. And I said, all right, so which one of you is going to come up and sing? And this surly, drunken, basically, if I say little black Irish girl, that what you're thinking of in your head right now, that's what she looked like. She looked like Snow White with long hair, just completely white skin, jet black hair, completely straight. And she was just, I thought she was going to punch me. And I said, well, I said, here, let me move the mic. I can move that. We just argued for like a minute. And I said, I'll cue you. I don't want to come in. I was like,
the great British public.
So
and Irish public.
Her face is like this. And I started playing. And I went, gun, gun. And she came in and just blew the roof off the place.
Oh, wow.
It was one of those moments. She had that beautiful Irish voice, and she helped me when I got lost, she helped me get back to where I needed to be. And it was this conversation, and it was really, it was one of the first musical conversations I had with another person, because I always play on my own. And at the end of the song, I looked at her and I went, I can't stand you, but that was amazing. And she went, yeah, it was pretty good. And stormed off. And I never saw them again. I thought I had dreamt it. And then like 2 years later, a friend of mine went, do you remember that night at Hogpenny? And that it was like your first night, and I was like, okay, I'm not having a stroke. That happened.
No, that actually happened.
But at the end of it, I went, that's what I want to do. Like, I don't want to be a rehearsed. I want that energy with the crowd. I want that interaction. I want to feel like part of it. And it's so hard to explain to a performer that doesn't do that, that's so integral to your work. If like you and I, there's nobody to play with. It's like throwing a ball, or like it's like hitting a ball with a tennis racket. Exactly.
People keep messaging me and saying, do you want to be on an online cabaret? I think, well, there's no such thing. It's impossible to exist. If you're doing cabaret, as I believe what cabaret is, it's not possible. Would I like to be in your show that's going to be online? Yeah, let's have a conversation. But it can't be on your online cabaret, because you can't have an online cabaret.
Yeah, I completely agree. And
You're a cabaret artist, Mike, whether you like it or not.
I really am. When I was sick, we came back on the cruise ship. It was fun. We were in the with the doctor, and of course with lungs, you have to be careful with pressure and stuff. And the doctor went, it's too bad. We were like, am I going to be okay to fly? He goes, yeah, but it's too bad that there isn't a cruise ship going from Baltimore to Bermuda. And when we told my stepmom, she went, wait a minute. I think there is. And literally, I had the surgery. I had, for those of you that are watching who don't really care, I had a lung resection because I have emphysema, and they had to fix me. And I had to stay in Baltimore for 2 weeks after the surgery for checkups to make sure I was healing properly, and then I could go home. literally 2 weeks and 2 days after the surgery, the cruise ship left Baltimore and came to Bermuda. And so Christine and I were walking around the cruise ship because I, had to walk a lot, and we found this piano bar. And that's all we did the whole time. And it was the first time I had sung. The woman was like, she was awesome, and she was like, "Oh, you're a singer. Do you want to sing a song?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just had lung surgery." And she was like, "Come on, just do a song." And I did Wonderful Tonight, and I was sobbing. She was sobbing. Christine was finished. But yeah, so yeah, I think you and I are very much in the same boat. We love what we do. We love our job, and I cannot wait to get back to work and see my people and see my staff and all these new songs I'm learning. I want to play them and see if they work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So listen, we've run out of time, but I'm really glad to see you. I'm really glad your lungs and you are well.
I know. Thank you.
Now, people that are watching, Mike won't be here tomorrow, but I will be back tomorrow, and so I will see you.
Saved.
That's right. He got it right. Balloons, streamers, all the things.
Muppet Dad.
10 minutes longer than I was expecting. Well done, Mr. Hind. We did it. Thank you, darling. Wave goodbye. Wave goodbye. Right, how do you press this thing?